Hey parents, I'm Dr. Devin Rising. And one of the questions I get asked so often, especially from new parents, is what are the keys to having the healthiest, most vibrant, growing, and easily developing infant? That can be a really tough question to answer, as it really depends upon who you ask or even what you read or search. But why is it so complicated to know what truly is healthy development when there are so many opinions and perspectives on it? And so in this video, I want to bring some clarity and really full confidence to you, mom, so that in this video, we're going to dig into really the four main developmental tasks for infants, 4 months and under. Truly, these four real main developmental tasks are the foundation for infant health, development, and growth. Every milestone, achievement, and in contrast, struggle are rooted in these developmental tasks. And this holds the answer if your baby is struggling with colic, constipation, reflux, sleep challenges, or developmental delays. So, really, this video is for moms, especially new moms, whose infants may be a little bit more challenging or a little bit more difficult than expected. Having more colic, gassiness, not sleeping well as you had expected, or potentially as reflux, and going to other providers like your pediatrician who may be offering them quick fixes, band-aids, really, like medication, are saying that they're going to grow out of it. I know how daunting that can be. And this reminds me of our very first patient whom we taken care of at Rising Health, baby Winston. Winston, he arrived at our office at 5 weeks battling colic, constipation, and just overall really uncomfortable, just really, really fussy. And his parents tried literally all the things: gas drops, gripe water, car rides, swaddling, long list of medications with really no success at all. Mom, dad, and baby were all exhausted, and they were longing for that regular schedule and really just time as a family without having those nightly outbursts. When we sat down with mom to really listen to her pregnancy and birth experiences, some undeniable factors that were preventing Winston from thriving were uncovered. And this really determined couple. They had overcome so many challenges with fertility, dealing with the global pandemic at the time. Winston was stuck in the wrong breech position for weeks, and that resulted in a C-section. And from the very moment that he was conceived, his nervous system was fighting to protect him. His overloaded nervous system became stuck in a stress response and was unable to regulate back into a relaxed state. All hope at that point seemed to be lost. And the key word there is seemed, because that's when pediatric neurologically focused chiropractic care really came in and changed his world. Winston's nervous system was reorganized and rewired, and he was able to find that state of calm. His digestion was significantly improved, and his stress levels were dialed down in a really big way, so much so that he began taking regular evening naps. And this is something seemingly small, but that was everything that this newborn deserved, as they required sleep to grow and develop. And here's really what mom had to say. She had said that, we had welcomed baby Winston into our lives at December of 2020. And he became extremely colicky in the evening, starting around 3 weeks. He'd spend every evening extremely fussy and inconsolable at times for hours. And we were so desperate to try to help him get comfortable and get rest in the evenings. After a long discussion with a local postpartum doula, she was able to refer us to Rising Health. And this was absolutely life changing for us. We were able to actually sit down as a family and have dinner while our newborn actually took an evening nap. This is such a blessing to our family. And what she had written there, it how he had changed in such a quick, rapid manner, but it didn't happen overnight. He was able to conquer his colic and reunite his entire family around the dinner table. Time spent with family again is something to be celebrated. But that, like I said, that victory, it just wasn't won overnight. During those first few months of life, infants undergo a remarkable transformation. And so many infants like Winston, when they struggle with colic, constipation, reflux, it causes sleepless nights. And you start to wonder as a parent if this is normal. I know I got 3 kids of my own, soon to be 4. And you start to think and question, do other parents struggle this much too? Why is nothing working? Well, each child is unique, has good and bad days, and develops at their own pace. Understanding the typical small behaviors and milestones can give us parents the confidence we need to get help for our babies and have the confidence to stay the course. So, as we dive into the developmental milestones to support infants' health within the first few months of life, I want to really bucket them into 4 main categories: eating, sleeping, pooping, and motor function. Mastering these makes all the difference. So, I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to dive in and talk through what normal looks like and how we can help with an infant who's struggling with one or more of these. And the first phase is really from, 0 months, from newborn stage all the way up to 4 months. So that's phase one right through here. This is the foundation of development. And the first real step is eating. Developing that beautiful, beautiful latch, whether breastfeeding or bottle, latching and feeding easily and comfortably on both sides. That we have a strong suck with a latch that isn't biting or taking in too much air. Swallowing that's controlled, easy, and can speed up or slow down as needed depending upon flow. One that doesn't spit up excessively or uncomfortable is just showing signs of being really uncomfortable after a feeding. The next big one is that sleep. Are they able to soothe and sleep well? Is your baby comfortable in multiple sleeping positions? Are they able, after a few weeks, have they established a cycle of sleep and waking to eat? Are they able to sleep in stretches of 2 to 3 or even longer, just a few longer hours at a time? It's making sure that they're able to babble and coo and bring objects to their mouth, pushing down when their legs are placed on a firm surface. Those are really positive signs that their system is in a calm state, a nice and relaxed state. When we're really rigid and uncomfortable, that's when movement doesn't happen. And we're going to talk about movement here in a minute, but pooping, it really is just movement, moving things from top to bottom. Are they able to digest their food? They're not getting overly gassy or grunting while sleeping. Pooping regularly. And each baby is different. Bowel movements should happen often and commonly multiple times a day during their first 2 to 3 months. They don't take a lot of effort, straining or struggling when trying to go. And the last real big task is that motor, those foundational movements, like holding their head up and having stability with their neck without support. You know, Moving towards that. Obviously, right when they're born, they're going to have issues with that, but we want to see proper progression through those first few months of life. Are they able to track objects? Are they able to smile at the sound of your voice? Really? Are they able to open and close their hands and bring their hands up to their mouth, right? Is it comfortable in tummy time and engaging with toys and people? And that's really around 3 to 4 months. So this is what sets up for this next phase of development, which is GI when we start to introduce solid foods, which is immune system when they get exposed to bugs or pathogens? How resistant is their immune system? Are they able to kick and fight the infection off? Well, if in contrast, if your baby is struggling in one of these four areas, you may observe that your child is frequently just arching or stiffening up and not being able to have their head in fluid motion, looking left to right and all. So their neck may be cranking one way or having excessive crying. They may have difficulty holding their head up in tummy time and an inability to handle tummy time comfortably for more than a minute or two. They may be trying to stand up too soon or just really stiff and in a tense posture. So these persistent struggles with sleep and digestion, constipation being the most common there, is that in the immune system, really, especially early on, these persistent challenges are all signs that the nervous system is not connecting the way that it could and should be. Excessive crying and distress with reduced, eye contact or smiling and interaction, babbling and imitating sounds. These are all signs that the nervous system is stuck. So when we dig into the root causes of why your infant may be struggling with their health, the number one factor that we see over and over and over again in the office is that when we see struggles with eating, sleeping, pooping, and movement, it's really the result of birth trauma, which affects the crucial brainstem and the cerebellum region. So here and here. And these areas are widely important. They play such an important role in their development and all of these tasks and processes. Birth is traumatic for your baby for numerous reasons, including baby's position in utero, the duration of the birth process, birth interventions, whether necessary or doesn't matter. We have to deal with the aftermath, whether it be a C-section, vacuum, forceps. These all cause high levels of physical stress and tension on the delicate tissues of the brainstem and the upper neck, which house the vagus nerve. And they're responsible for the autonomic nervous system, how it regulates and functions, how it controls motor tone and coordination, immune function, and digestive function. So, pretty much what I'm simply saying is that if your newborn went through stress in utero or delivery, the systems that control eating, sleeping, pooping, and movement are going to be affected. And your infant may be having to work too hard to do these simple foundational tasks. While the impact of these various physical stressors on a developing infant's nerves and muscles in the head, neck, upper torso are significant, as pediatric chiropractors, we are uniquely and expertly trained, especially at Rising Health, to help infants that have experienced birth trauma and maybe currently struggling with eating, sleeping, pooping, or moving. So if your baby is displaying signs of colic, reflux, constipation, or is having difficulty sleeping or eating, these are all indications of your infant's nervous system being affected. And if you've been told they'll grow out of it or are feeling discouraged with these symptoms, we're always here to help. So ask us any questions, please, whether it's in the comments or send us a direct message. Please, share this with other parents, with other moms that are struggling in the moment to gain some guidance as to why their child, why their newborn is showing the challenges that they are. And then lastly, if you are currently struggling in this season of life, please do not hesitate to give us a call and get in and see exactly what their nervous system is doing. Where is it stuck? Why are they not progressing through those normal stages of development? Once again, I so appreciate you in sticking with us in this video. And, I look forward to continuously connecting with you in the next one. God bless.